Step back in time to 15th century Damascus, a vibrant center of learning and spirituality. Imagine a woman, not just participating in this intellectual world, but excelling, writing, and teaching, leaving behind a legacy that continues to inspire. This is the story of Aisha al-Bawniya, a figure whose brilliance illuminated the path for generations. Damascus during the Mamluk era was a city of immense cultural and religious significance. It was a hub for scholars, mystics, and poets from across the Islamic world. Knowledge flowed through its mosques, madrasas, and private homes, creating an environment ripe for intellectual and spiritual growth. It was in this rich tapestry of learning and devotion that Aisha al-Bawniya was born and flourished. Her life unfolded within a society that, while presenting challenges, also offered avenues for women of exceptional intellect and piety to contribute profoundly. Understanding this context is key to appreciating her remarkable achievements. Aisha al-Bawniya hailed from the illustrious al-Bawni family, a name synonymous with scholarship and jurisprudence in the 15th century. This was not merely a family. It was an intellectual dynasty. They held prominent positions, serving as judges, preachers, and educators across major cities like Damascus, Jerusalem, Safed, and Aleppo. Her father, Yusuf al-Bawni, was a distinguished judge, moving between important centers of learning and governance. Her grandfather, Ahmad ibn Nasir, held the esteemed positions of preacher and Shafi'i judge in both Damascus and Jerusalem. Growing up in such a household meant being immersed from birth in a world where books, legal discussions, and religious devotion were the very fabric of daily life. From a young age, Aisha's intellectual potential was recognized and nurtured within her family. Like her brothers, she received a comprehensive education, primarily from her father and other learned family members. This familial tutelage provided a strong foundation in the core Islamic sciences. Her studies were rigorous and wide-ranging, encompassing the Quran, Hadith, the sayings and actions of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, fiqh, Islamic jurisprudence, and Arabic literature, including poetry. This broad curriculum ensured she was well-versed in both the transmitted sciences and the literary arts. A testament to her extraordinary intellect and dedication was her achievement at a remarkably young age. By the age of 8, Aisha had completely memorized the Holy Quran. This feat, known as becoming a hafiza, is a significant accomplishment for anyone, requiring immense discipline and devotion. For a young girl in the 15th century, achieving this level of mastery so early was particularly noteworthy. It not only demonstrated her sharp mind, but also her deep commitment to her faith, setting the stage for her future scholarly and spiritual journey. This early mastery provided her with the foundational text upon which all Islamic knowledge is built. Beyond the formal scholarly disciplines, Aisha also embarked on a profound spiritual journey within the Sufi tradition. Sufism, the mystical dimension of Islam, focuses on the inner, spiritual path to God. For Aisha, this was not separate from her scholarship, but deeply integrated with it. She received guidance and training from respected Sufi masters of her time. Among them were Jamal al-Din Ismail al-Hawari and Muhyi al-Din Yahya al-Urmawi. These masters would have guided her through the stages of the spiritual path, teaching her practices of remembrance, dhikr, contemplation, muraqabah, and the purification of the heart. Aisha's education exemplifies the classical Islamic ideal where outward knowledge, zahir, and inward spiritual understanding, batin, are intertwined. Her mastery of jurisprudence and hadith provided the framework of Islamic law and practice, while her Sufi training offered the means to deepen her connection with the divine and understand the inner meanings of the faith. This holistic approach is evident in her later writings, which often blend legal or theological points with mystical insights and poetic expressions of divine love. She was not just a scholar or a mystic, she was a scholar-mystic, embodying the synthesis of these paths. While dedicated to her scholarly and spiritual pursuits, Aisha also fulfilled the societal role of marriage. She was married to Ahmad ibn Muhammad ibn Naqib al-Ashraf, who came from another prominent family in Damascus. This union connected two respected lineages within the city's elite. Together, they had two children, a son named Abdul Wahab and a daughter named Baraka. Balancing the responsibilities of marriage and motherhood with her intense intellectual and spiritual life would have required remarkable discipline and support, highlighting her ability to navigate multiple spheres of life effectively. Aisha's scholarly depth extended to a comprehensive understanding of Islamic jurisprudence. She was well-versed in the principles and rulings of all four major Sunni schools of law: Hanafi, Maliki, Shafi, and Hanbali. This level of knowledge is indicative of a truly advanced scholar, capable of engaging with diverse legal opinions and methodologies. Her command of these complex legal systems demonstrates her rigorous training and intellectual capacity. It allowed her to participate in scholarly discussions and write with authority on matters of faith and practice, solidifying her position as a respected jurist in her own right. A central theme in Aisha's life and work was her profound love and devotion to the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. This deep spiritual connection is a hallmark of many Sufis and scholars throughout Islamic history. For Aisha, this love was not merely an abstract concept, but a living, breathing reality that permeated her being. She expressed this devotion most eloquently through her poetry. Her verses are often filled with praise for the Prophet, longing for his presence, and reflections on his noble character and teachings. This poetic expression of love is a significant part of her spiritual legacy. Aisha al-Ba'uniyya was an exceptionally prolific writer, composing over 20 works across various genres. This volume of work is remarkable for any scholar of the period, and particularly so for a woman. It is believed she authored more works in Arabic than any other woman before the 20th century, a testament to her dedication and intellectual output. Her writings covered a range of subjects, including Sufism, poetry, and religious commentary. They provide invaluable insights into her intellectual world, her spiritual experiences, and the scholarly environment of her time. Studying her works allows us to hear her voice directly across the centuries. Among her most recognized works are Al-Fath al-Mubin fi Madh al-Amin, the clear manifestation in praise of the trustworthy one, and Al-Mawrid al-Akhna fi al-Manaqib al-Ulya, the purest source regarding the highest virtues. Al-Fath al-Mubin is a lengthy poem in praise of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, showcasing her poetic skill and deep devotion. Al-Mawrid al-Akhna is a prose work, likely focusing on spiritual virtues or the lives of pious individuals. These titles alone suggest the themes central to her work: love for the Prophet, spiritual purification, and the pursuit of divine knowledge. Her ability to compose in both poetry and prose highlights her versatility as a writer. Aisha's reputation as a scholar and mystic extended beyond Damascus. She traveled to Cairo, another major intellectual and political center of the Mamluk Sultanate. Her presence in Cairo was significant, allowing her to interact with leading scholars and figures of the time. It is reported that she even met with the Mamluk Sultan al-Ashraf Qansu al-Gawri. Such interactions underscore the high esteem in which she was held, a woman scholar and Sufi master, recognized and respected by the highest authorities. Her travels facilitated the spread of her knowledge and influence. As a recognized master, Aisha also took on students and disciples, guiding them in both scholarly and spiritual matters. Her home in Damascus likely served as a center for learning and spiritual counsel. Passing on knowledge and spiritual wisdom was a crucial part of her role as a scholar and Sufi master. Her ability to teach and inspire others further cemented her legacy. She was not just a recipient of knowledge, but an active participant in its transmission, ensuring that the intellectual and spiritual traditions she embodied would continue through her students. Aisha al-Ba'uniya's decision to document her own views and experiences in writing is profoundly significant. In a historical period where the voices of women, particularly their personal spiritual and intellectual journeys, were less frequently recorded in detail, her extensive body of work stands out. Her writings offer a unique window into the life and thought of a highly accomplished woman scholar and mystic. They challenge simplistic narratives about the roles of women in medieval Islamic societies and provide rich material for understanding the diversity and depth of intellectual life during that era. Aisha al-Ba'uniya passed away in December 1517 in her native Damascus. Her death marked the end of a life dedicated to the pursuit of knowledge, spiritual excellence, and literary expression. However, her influence did not cease with her passing. She is remembered today as one of the most important female Islamic mystics and scholars of the medieval period. Her contributions to Sufism, Arabic poetry, and Islamic scholarship continue to be studied and appreciated. Her life serves as an inspiring example of intellectual rigor, spiritual depth, and unwavering devotion. For Islamic scholars, her works offer valuable primary source material for understanding Sufism, literature, and the intellectual history of the Mamluk period from a unique perspective. For history enthusiasts, her story provides a compelling narrative of a woman who defied expectations and achieved greatness in a challenging historical context. Her life is a powerful reminder that knowledge and spirituality know no gender boundaries in Islam. She stands as a beacon of light, demonstrating the heights that can be reached through dedication to learning, devotion to faith, and the courage to express one's inner truth. The story of Aisha al-Ba'uniya is a call to rediscover the often overlooked figures who shaped Islamic civilization. Her life and works are a treasure trove of wisdom, beauty, and inspiration. She was a master of her time, and her legacy continues to enrich ours. We encourage you to delve deeper into the life and works of Aisha al-Ba'uniya. Seek out translations or studies of her writings. Share her story with others. Let her example inspire your own pursuit of knowledge, spiritual growth, and contribution to the world. Her light continues to shine for all who seek it.